Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So we finally had the meeting with the teacher and it went as expected. No changes really, no... well, that's why I didn't send the letter to them, and it apparently came from the CEO of Swale, who didn't bother to reply to him itself. Swale did email me and I said that, well, I am expecting a reply from them because they're the only ones who can manage funds and to have a SEND teacher in every year group. Because in the meeting, Senko and the head, acknowledged everything in the letter, said, yeah, it's right, it's true. The Senko said that, yeah, it's true, you have to fail to be able to get the funding. I asked about, the funding, whether it could be changed. She seemed to think it couldn't be, but I suspect it's because they just don't really want to do it. Then the head went on about ideas in her head, like, oh, we could repeat the year of reception, which to me is just keeping even further behind, or she could go to a special school, yeah, I mentioned that, or go to the year one. I don't really know what to do anymore, but it seems like it's very difficult to get anything changed. But yeah, they just admitted that, yeah, it's true what's in the letter, and that the funding isn't adequate, and they said the funding's even less for reception. What else did they say? When I came to mention about the choke hazard that Alina had before the end of term, where she, the teacher had to pat her on the back, although that's not how Senko told her. He told her that she tried to put a screw in, a bit of plasticine, and went to eat it. So I don't know, did she or did she not? Did she need patting on the back to get it out? And it's because they have like little drawers that they can just pull open. And I said, well, like in your house, you're not allowed to do that. You have to have screws high up. And I find things lying about the floors whenever we go to see there. They don't pick things up. And remember, these children are 4 or 5. So, even neurotypical children will put things in their ears, their nose, their mouth, and etc. So it's not just neurodivergence. That's a safeguarding issue. And she said, oh, wow, we want to encourage our children to open drawers. So you want to teach our children the things that we're told not to do at home. So you teach our children to open drawers to get screws out, then they go home and do the same thing. Why are we teaching them things like that? That's not safeguarding, is it? So there's a health and safety thing looking at that risk assessment, so hopefully they change that. But as expected, nothing really came of this other than them saying there's nothing really they can do. And just the option of special school, repeat the year or move to the next. And all they're doing is banking on the system that they know doesn't work. Well, it is a discriminatory system because the funding for neurotypicals is on day 1, neurodivergence is year 1, and they acknowledged that, and they said you had to fail to get that money. So I don't understand how you can decide to run a school and live with that kind of failure. That's why I sent it to Swale, because they had the trust. So I thought, well, money's given to them and they're given autonomy to be able to spend it. But they didn't even bother to reply to me, so I've gone back to them and said, well, I am expecting a reply regarding the letter. Because they said, yeah, you spoke to the head, isn't it? They've just passed on to her to pass the buck. And I suspect now when anyone contacts her, like Director of Child Services, say, yeah, the parents are fine with it, yeah. No, we're not fine, it doesn't work. And Senko's saying that she's getting support all the time. And he sort of switches between support and safeguarding, keeping an eye on her because they have to for a safeguarding. Yeah, that's not support, that's safeguarding. She's not, because the teacher, they always say to us, every time we pick her up, oh, I wish we had a one-to-one teacher. Sometimes they say they got, for a few hours, they've got Mondays and Tuesdays, someone, but they never say they got full support. The teachers aren't saying that, but Senko is saying in front of their head, and said to Director of Child Services, yeah, she's being supported. Yeah, supported in a minimal way, in like keeping an eye on her, but not supported in a way that adequate support because she's failing. And so the support she needs is one-to-one support, proper, from a teacher who has an advanced level of, SEN education. Yeah, keep you updated. Take care, take care, see you, best, please.